campaign as well over Merrick Garland. The filibuster's gone now, and yet politically, this seems like it's going to be a more intense fight we're in store for here.
Well, I don't think the Democrats should allow even meetings to occur with Trump's nominee to fill this vacancy by Justice Kennedy. I think they have to fight eye for an eye for what happened in 2016, where the Republicans led by Mitch McConnell refused to even consider or even meet with Merrick Garland. I think if the Democratic leadership under Schumer allows this to go forward, they're going to have a huge problem with the Democratic base. We saw Joe Crowley get beaten up in New York, up in Queens yesterday. You can tell that this leadership will be tottering on edge if they allow this to proceed. There's no way politically the Democratic base will stand for any kind of hearings or vote on a Trump nominee for the Supreme Court before the election. We've got an election in 4.5 months. There's no reason to consider a replacement on the Supreme Court in that time. No reason given the history of what happened. Let's watch McConnell now. I'm telling you, they have no right to bring this up after what they did in 2016.
I guess the practical question is, if that's the approach Democrats want to take, how do they do it? Because they tried to filibuster the they tried to filibuster the Gorsuch nomination. Republicans just did away with the filibuster. Republicans have 51 votes right now, 50 if McCain is sidelined. Still enough with Pence sitting there. If Republicans stay together, is there anything Democrats can do?
Well, there's a lot of dilatory tactics they can use on every other bill before the Congress between now and November. If they don't use everything they've got, if they don't play hardball, I think they're through. I know the Democratic base. They are very angry about this leadership. They feel it has not fought hard enough against Trump. And if they allow Trump to fill the Supreme Court with another conservative who will not share Justice Anthony Kennedy's views on social issues like marriage equality. I mean, Judge Kennedy deserves a lot of credit from the gay community, and I think all Americans, for marriage equality and for the liberty, the Lawrence case before that, his belief in the Liberty Clause and equality, and based upon the original Constitution. He is a great justice when it comes to these social gender issues. But if he gets replaced by a hardline social conservative, the Democratic leadership will have hell to pay. They cannot let this happen. They have to play hardball. They've got to do exactly to the other side what Mitch McConnell did to them. Play hardball and win. They must prevent the Republican-controlled Senate to pick another justice on this hard right court. Look at the decisions, starting with Bush Gore. Look at the decisions going on to the Heller case, where everybody in the country can have the biggest gun they can buy. Look at the case on Citizens United, where the people with the most money win all the elections. And then that got-awful decision yesterday, which is basically an anti-Muslim bill. They voted right down the line 5-4 in every case. The Democrats have got to fight for that fifth seat with everything they've got. If they allow this to proceed, they're going to look stupid, they're going to look weak, and they're going to be overthrown. I tell you, the Democratic base is wired now for a revolt. This will be the trigger for it. If they allow this, they shouldn't have a meeting with any of his nominees. They shouldn't have any hearings. They shouldn't show up for any hearings. They should fight this tooth and nail. I'm telling you, I know politics. And right now, this is the time for the Democratic base to roar up and say no more of this crap.